guys, today in the lead up to the release of their upcoming EP, Lie Through Your Teeth, I'm joined by vocalist Josh Walker of Melbourne-based punk rock quartet, Stuck Out. Thank you so much for joining me today, Josh. How's it going?
Very good, thank you. Thank you for chatting with me this evening.
Of course, no worries. So your upcoming EP, Lie Through Your Teeth, is set to drop on December 18 via Sharp Tone Records. It's been a little while since your last EP, so what can fans expect of this release compared to 2018's You Won't Come Home and the singles in between?
I think it's kind of the EP where we've maybe found our sound a bit more. I think, You Won't Come Home was like the first EP we released, and it was very, very much us as kids recording and just trying to put songs out kind of thing. And then the singles have kind of been testing the waters along the way, figuring out, what we want to do. But I think this EP is probably us being a bit more mature and knowing a bit more what we want to sound like, and the I guess the vibe that we want to put out there. We definitely went into songwriting with an idea of what we wanted to achieve. So I think overall still expect aggressive punk, upbeat, but a little more polish on it maybe than our previous stuff.
And as for the title, Lie Through Your Teeth, what's the significance there?
It's actually a line that comes up in two of our songs, in our first single, Mindless, and another song called False Promise. It comes up in both those songs, and looking back, it wasn't really like an intention when we were writing lyrics and stuff like that, but looking back on the EP, it's all kind of got to do with lying and the truth involved with different relationships and with yourself. So apart from the fact that it's probably the most said line in the whole EP, it definitely kind of captures the whole theme, I guess, of the EP as a whole.
Okay. So you guys have actually already released one of the tracks off the EP, Mindless, featuring Michaela of yours truly. I know you've talked about this a little bit already in your other press release work, but can you tell me about the inspiration behind the single or the message you're hoping listeners will take away from the track?
Yeah, this is an interesting one because it's very different to all the other songs we've released. We're not really politically motivated band. We tend to kind of talk about personal relationships and just a bit more of escapism kind of themes, but this one definitely came from some conversations that I had. I actually started writing the song 2 years ago, so some conversations back then regarding specifically about Indigenous culture, and just it was kind of the period where I realized that even if you're in a conversation, they weren't actively racist or saying anything outwardly rude, but they were definitely uneducated and a bit ignorant on the subject matter, I guess. And it was kind of an argument did occur, but it was kind of stemmed from that, and then a couple of other instances along the way kind of added on top of that, and it kind of got to the point where I was like, if I don't say something about it, I'm kind of taking a back seat and holding my tongue when at this point it's not good enough to just be silent and let things pass. You've got to try and if someone says something that's not okay and it's not, you think is not morally right, you really got to get out of your comfort zone and say something about it, because otherwise it's just the cycle is going to keep on keeping on, and it's just we're not going to be able to fix some of the issues in this world that really need some attention right now.
And that's obviously a great motivation for you guys to have, considering you do have quite a bit of influence and a platform with your band. So putting that message across is obviously reaching a number of people and surely helping at least someone along the way.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're not reaching the masses, but I mean, if someone can walk away saying, you know what, maybe the next time that, you know, that specific mate says something that's a little too edgy, I might speak up and say, hey man, look, that's not what you do anymore. You can't say that kind of stuff. You really got to put a line in the sand and try and stand up for your beliefs and your morals, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So Mindless has already been out for a little while now, having dropped on October 28th. What has the response been like so far to the single compared to your previous tracks?
It's been very good. I think it's definitely probably the most poppy song we've released so far. So I think it's definitely garnered a lot more attention than our previous tracks. But look, people are spinning it on Spotify. All the comments on YouTube have been great. Everyone loves Michaela's feature. She was absolutely fantastic on it. She killed it. So all over, it's probably the best that we could have hoped for, you know, for a lead single, and fingers crossed it will get some more people to listen to the EP later on, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it has set a great tone for the rest of the EP. So hopefully people will stick around and enjoy that just as much. So yeah, as for the accompanying music video, I know your original plans were interrupted due to the Melbourne lockdown. So firstly, it's great to see that you guys still managed to put something together and get that message across. But what had you originally been hoping to do for the music video pre-lockdown?
Pre-lockdown, it's funny because we had a few ideas. So we shot it as a whole, it was shot in September. Mm-hmm. And we were kind of planning early August. And early August, we went to our videographer, the AV Club. They did an amazing job. And we said, look, this is the song, this is the message, these are the kind of things we want to get out of it. And they said, yeah, they had the original doll idea with you know, actual people and involving a proper, like, different relationships and stuff like that. There was the idea of having a dancer and expressing that kind of thing. It was all kind of story-based stuff. And we were like, these guys are coming up with so many ideas. It's going to be awesome. Like, we're going to be able to do so much. And then everything hit and it was all put on hold. I would have liked to have said, you know, we booked fireworks and we booked a convertible and stuff like that, but we weren't that far into the process. So it was just kind of enough ideas flowing that we could say, all right, how do we redirect everything that we'd been focusing on in the first place? And Kean from AV Club came up and said, you know, why don't we use dolls instead of people? And we really had to make sure, I mean, obviously using inanimate objects is very different to facial expressions and movements and stuff like that. So we had to really hone in and figure out what we could do to make it work. But also, we were able to do stuff like, it looked like there were fireworks and they were at a cinema and they were driving a car down the road and all this stuff that, you know, we wouldn't have been able to do in the first place. So I think in a lot of ways, it worked out best for everyone, you know?
Yeah, well, they certainly did a great job. It was so engaging and just captivating to watch. So I still think it turned out great regardless. So in the lead up to the December release of Lie Through Your Teeth, can fans expect any more singles off the EP?
Definitely. We've got a single coming out in, I don't know the date today, but probably in a couple of weeks, maybe a week or 2 weeks. That we actually just recently filmed the video for. We had all the proper COVID safe procedures and stuff like that in place. So we were allowed to do it finally, it was nice to kind of get something done all together with us all in the one place. Yes, we've got that coming, and then tomorrow, I'm not sure when this is coming out, but tomorrow we're announcing just an EP release show. So I'm sure that will already be announced by the time this comes out. So go check out our Facebook page, and if you're in Melbourne, see if you can come to the release show.
Yep. So as for that music video, then all of that was able to be done in person as you had originally wanted then, or was there still adjustments needing to be made?
It was definitely done in person as we wanted. It was definitely a lot more DIY than maybe the video might have been if we were allowed, an extra hand in and a gaffer and a lighting technician and stuff like that. It was certainly more just the band with our videographer and just trying to putting in as much work as possible to get to work. But it has definitely come out the exact way that we envisioned it. So no, it's very handy that the restrictions are lifting, and it's very handy for artists that are, trying to get content out and trying to get releases out. It's all opening up the right time for us, I think, which is nice.
Yeah, so that's great to hear, and I can't wait to see it. Ooh, and my internet's dropping out a bit. Sorry about that. So I've already had the privilege of listening to the EP in full, and I'm so excited for the official release next month. I genuinely love each of the tracks, and I couldn't possibly pick a favorite, but is there one single on the EP in particular you're most looking forward to the release of?
First of all, thank you very much. There is, I think the next single that we just shot the video for is definitely, I will risk saying, all of our favorite song. Mm-hmm. It's definitely the one that we're probably looking forward to playing live the most. It's a very upbeat, strong, catchy, punch you in your face kind of song, which we're all very, very keen to get out. It's called Inverse. Mm-hmm. If you remember that one, first song on the EP. So that's definitely our next release, and definitely our favorite one that we're keen to see what people think. If they hate it, then we might just have to quit as a band. I don't know.
Well, I really enjoyed it, so I can't wait for that to come out. Lastly, following the release of Live Through Your Teeth in December, what else is in store for Stuck Out over the coming months? So is there any new music in the works, or perhaps some live shows? We'd love to see you up in Sydney sometime soon. Obviously, COVID pending and when everything's safe to do so, of course.
Yeah. We well, everything's COVID pending at this stage. So we have a show on December 19th at Stay Gold, which is our EP release show. It's a seated show in Melbourne. So if you're in Melbourne, you can come to that. Otherwise, we're really hoping to get, we've got a tour booked in, but when it happens, it could, if everything works out, could happen in February, might happen later on, but everything's COVID pending at this stage. So we're trying to bide our time as best we can. We'll definitely keep rolling out content and music videos and behind the scenes stuff and stuff like that. So there definitely won't be a lack of anything to look forward to in the way of that. But when the next time you see us in person is up in the air, but it is being planned. So just pay attention to the borders, I think.
Yeah, well, that's obviously the difficulty of being in the industry, being so uncertain and having to plan things so far in advance. But of course, with COVID, that's quite difficult. So I'm sure we'll get to see you guys soon enough, and hopefully everything will settle back down a bit more in the coming months.
Fingers crossed it's sooner rather than later.
Of course. Unfortunately, though, that is all we've got time for tonight. But again, thank you so much for joining me, Josh. It's been such a pleasure talking. I'll link the music video for Mindless down below. So to everyone watching, be sure to check that out in the description along with all of their socials. And like and subscribe to be kept up to date with the latest. I'll see you next week. Bye. Thanks.